I am a worrier. We're going to give that a battery. I am, yeah, kind of. I make friends easily. Maybe it's not as fast as I thought it was, because now I'm like, I mean, I feel like people make friends. Like, I make friends easily, but I also don't want friends. I'm going to give this like a neutral. I'm full. I have a vivid imagination. Oh, dude, the horrors that I and my family have suffered in my brain that could not possibly come to fruition. I trust others. Yes and no. I complete tasks successfully. You ever see me play Among Us? Absolutely. I get angry easily. You're not going to believe this, but it's not a yes. It might not be a no. I really enjoy large parties and gatherings. Not really. I think art is important. Look. I'm just being... I know what you want me to answer. I don't think it's unimportant. I don't think it's that important. You do art for a living? Yeah, I know. And if, like, the industry collapsed, the hospitals would stay open. You know what I mean? I'm not a STEM lord. Like, I appreciate the value of art and culture. Is it important? Yes. And in some ways, is it more important than a paramedic's job? To be honest with you, I think I'm neutral here. I'm definitely not like the kind of person who's like, why do they even write nonfiction books? But I use and manipulate others to get my own way. That's like, believe it or not, it's like a heavy no. Anytime I come up with a docket, it's always like, you would not, I would love to play this, but if you don't want to play this, that's fine. It was, I think I'm a heavy no there. I don't like things to be a mess. I like to tidy up. I do not like to tidy up. But I also don't like things to be a mess. So that's kind of confusing for me and my spirit. I often feel sad. Not often, I like to take charge of situations and events. Honestly, I'm kind of happy being a cog in the machine to some circumstances. I experience deep and varied emotions. I feel like that is a bad sign if you don't. I love to help others. I hate to say it. I don't like. I've volunteered a little bit in my life, especially like in high school. You have to. I appreciate the value, but whenever people are like, "Oh, I just love helping other people," I'm like, I don't really. It's a good thing to do, but at the same time, is there like a secondary benefit out of it for me? Not really. I would hit that with a no. I keep my promises for the most part. I find it difficult to approach others. I mean, it's not... I feel like I'm being so anal about this, and maybe you're not supposed to, but like... It's not difficult to approach others. You just walk up and say, hey, just so you know, you dropped a $5 bill back there or something like that, It's not hard. It's not like you got to solve a riddle to talk to them. But like, do I like to do it? No, not at all. So is it difficult? No. I mean, I guess I would say I do find it difficult, but I am always busy, always on the go. Yes, but I actually think it's a bad habit, to be honest. I prefer variety to routine. Wrong. I love a good argument. Believe it or not, it's like a heavy no. In the spirit of this, I don't think this is like, I love a good argument when I just for jokes argue with my friends. I think this is like when two people like hash it out. Don't like it. I don't like it. I work hard. It's definitely true. I overindulge and go on binges. It's definitely true. No. I bought a bag of veggie sticks at the grocery store yesterday. Told myself I was only going to eat half of it. Ate the whole thing. Ate it all. Can't stop. I love excitement. Not really. I enjoy reading challenging books and articles. Yes. They always got to throw something like this in here, right? I believe I am better than others. Well, I believe that everyone more or less created equal. I feel like some people have done more with their God-given gifts than some other people feel compelled to. Do I feel like broadly I'm better than the average other person? No. I feel like everybody's different. Do I feel like I'm a better person? No. But there are things that I'm better at. I think I'm a 1+, okay? I'm not a 2+ here. I do think I'm a 1+ though. Like, I have to hit plus, right? Because, like, at least once a day, I see something where I go, geez, I'm glad I'm not that guy. So how could I not hit plus on that one? I don't think I'm a plus. No. Well, I think I'm just a plus. I am always prepared. It's pretty much, this is like it's probably a 1-. But it's hard because I've changed, right? Like, when I was a kid, when I would go to school, even in college, like, I was always the kid who was like, I don't have a pencil. I study, but I'd be like, oh, I forgot a pen. Can I borrow a pen? Hey, can I borrow your pen? You know, I was always like that. Right now, I would be like, make sure you bring a pen. But there's a flip side. If my wife was coming with me, I would not be prepared. I would just rely on her to be prepared. And then if she was like, didn't you bring the passports? I'd be like, I thought that was your purview. So, I mean, I would say I tend to be slightly unprepared. I panic easily. Not really. I am a cheerful person. I think, like most curmudgeons, I feel like I'm cheerful. Like, my default state is cheerful, but it's simply the idiocy of society that makes me seem grumpy when actually I'm quite a happy person. But I would say in general, if people were asked to describe me in like 50 words, cheerful would probably not be one of the first words they would use. Yeah, probably like people would probably put me in like a minus. I tend to support political candidates who favor progress and reform. We're going there, huh? I sympathize with the homeless. Yes. I know this seems kind of like it's counter to number 28, to put a but in there. I do sympathize with the homeless. The but is, I'm sick of having shit stolen out of my car. That's the but. Like, I feel like you could be like sympathetic and also like, man, I wish my car didn't get broken into when I parked it in this spot over and over. But yeah, I mean, definitely I've never been like, never had the opinion like, well, you know, here's a tip, I'm not going to give you any money. Why don't you just go put on a suit and get a job, you know? I am very spontaneous. I act without thinking. It's a heavy no. I fear for the worst. Doesn't everybody fear for the worst? Like if you were like, hey, how do you feel about like if a 12.0 earthquake came out of nowhere? I'd be like, yeah, I'm afraid. I guess, you know what? Honestly, I think I have to hit plus plus on this. Because I really do check on whether or not the baby's breathing, like every 6 minutes when it's my turn to watch the baby. Like, even if the baby is asleep in a safe position, I'll like go get like a glass of water, maybe like, I don't know, make a sandwich, do some dishes. But halfway through, I'll like come back and I'll be like, let's see if her like chest is rising and falling. And then if I don't see that, but I'm still pretty sure she's like alive, I'll just like grab her hand and then like pull it up a little bit and then drop it. Maybe that's why she's not sleeping so well. Anyway, you gotta, I check. So I don't know. Yeah, sure. I feel comfortable around people. Yeah. I don't feel uncomfortable around people. Once they start to talk a lot, it's kind of like a different story, but yeah, I mean, I'm never like uncomfortable being in a large crowd. I just I don't enjoy it necessarily. It's not my idea of a good time. I enjoy wild flights of fantasy. I would say definitely no. I believe that people basically have good intentions. You can call me naive, but I believe that's true. I honestly believe that, as sad as it is, like, you might take this as a positive. I actually think it's kind of a negative. As sad as it is, I feel like most of the people, that even people that are doing harmful things are doing it because they think that it's the quote-unquote good or the right thing to do. And they are just, in my opinion, misguided. Some people are just like evil, for sure. But people basically have good intentions, I would agree. Whether that manifests in good things depends on your point of view. Like, are the Jedi evil? When I do something, I always do it well. No, definitely not. I try to get it done as fast as possible while still maintaining basically the bare minimum level of success. I am never like, let's take as long as possible to do something. I'm never like, I'm going to do something perfectly and it takes as long as it takes. I'm like, I'm budgeting 10 minutes for this and it shakes out how it shakes out. I get irritated easily. Absolutely true. Yes. There's no question. A constant din of irritation. I always chat to lots of, you know what, we're probably there. Let's be honest. I always chat to lots of different people at parties. No. I see beauty in things that others might not notice. There's times that I feel that, but the flip side of that for sure is that I'm like I don't get like visual art. Like, I get music and I'll be like, oh, in like Bill Withers' Lovely Day, when the bass of the start goes like, and you think it's gonna go doo-doo, but it goes doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Like, I'm like, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. And even that's before we even get the silky smooth tone of Bill Withers singing. And, but so I feel like I notice stuff like that. But then if people are like, look at this painting, I'll be like, is it even like I still only evaluate visual art as if it's like an attempt to be as photorealistic as possible. You know what I mean? Like the Mona Lisa, I'm like, I don't know. I see people make like more realistic stuff than that in MS Paint all the time. But none of them even come close to a fucking camera. Like, why don't you just take a photo? Like, if you're if you're painting like, like something that doesn't exist, I'm very impressed. But otherwise, I'm like, why are you drawing a flower? Like, just, there's like a billion photos of them on Google Images. But anyway, what was I talking about? I see beauty in things that others might not notice. I probably put that on like a neutral. I don't mind cheating to get ahead. Genuinely, some people think that I made this up. Never in my scholastic life did I cheat on a test. Literally never looked at somebody's test paper, never tried to get the answers in advance. Like, I don't know, people are like the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet, it's not cheating. How many times do we have to go over this? It's like, it's practice. It's a study aid. At no point was there like well, you can't take in a guide for what to do, you know? Doesn't make any sense. It's research. I don't know if I don't know, the spreadsheet, it's not cheating. It violates an assumption of good faith. I would agree with that. It doesn't fit the definition of cheating. But I definitely did not tell anybody else that I was going to make a spreadsheet. I just thought, you know what? I mean, isn't that like one of Sun Tzu's principles from The Art of War? Is like, don't tell your opponent you're coming because you want to stab them when they're asleep. I don't know. This is a long book. I haven't finished it yet. So I honestly, I think I'm here. I often forget to put things back in their proper place. In case my wife's watching, I got to click that one for sure. I dislike myself. It's not true. I mean, do I wake up and go like, oh, I love myself today? No, not. But like, you know, I like myself. I recognize my faults and my flaws and, you know, endeavor to grow past them. I try to be in charge, to lead others. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I am empathetic. I feel others' emotions. I don't know, man, because, like, I feel like I do, but I feel like everybody feels other people's emotions. But I don't think I got like an honest appraisal of this, okay? I am empathetic. Like, when someone tells me about, like, their problem, I'm like, oh, that sucks, right? But I also feel like some people, this is very rude. I feel some people have, like, assumed or vanity empathy where they, like, seek out people that are going through something hard and then publicly make a show of, like, I can't believe that happened to you. That's ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we get it. You're the dude who has empathy. Like, I can read, like, a depressing statement, and I go, like, oh, I feel bad. And then I see, like, the same 8 people that are like, you know, I can't believe that happened. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes people are rude in voice chat. I'm not saying, like, you shouldn't complain about it, but I'm just like, you know. What do you expect? You're playing, you know, Valorant with open mic. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying, do we really have to get, like, it's good to say that it's not okay, but at the same time, it's like, it's, you know, it's not like a nuclear missile just hit the city. But anyway, I don't know. Like, I honestly feel like this is neutral. I'm concerned about others. No, not at all. They can handle their own business. I tell the truth. Not to an unfailing degree, but in general. For the most part, I would rather tell an uncomfortable truth than a little white lie, I suppose. I am afraid to draw attention to myself. Not really, but no, it's whatever. I never sit still. I'm always on the go. I would prefer to be. I prefer to stick with things that I know. Sadly, that's true. That's something I'm working on. I should get out of my comfort zone more often. I shout and yell at people. This is, again, a question. In real life, no. On stream, yes, but I prefer... I'm being genuine. For the past few years, I really don't feel like I'm the person escalating the level of conflict on the stream. I feel like I try to stay at an even keel, keep the blood pressure low, and other people ratchet it up. And when they ratchet up, I have to respond in kind. Otherwise, you know, I never yelled at Sips. In general, don't yell at Mouth. I don't think I've ever yelled at Levy, for example. I think in real life, I've never had like a Karen moment where I'm like, pay attention to me. I never in public have I done this. I think this is a negative. Straight up. I do more than what's expected of me. No. For the most part, I do about what's expected of me. Yes, absolutely. I rarely over-deliver, I think. I rarely overindulge. I think that's wrong. I think I overindulge in moderation. I'll eat a foot-long sandwich when I don't have to. 6-inch probably would have filled me up. And then I get the sun chips on top of it. Like, come on. It's not necessary. Was pretty delicious, though. I go out of my way to seek adventure. Highly false. I avoid philosophical discussions pretty much, yeah. I mean, if I was in a conversation and it turned philosophical, I wouldn't leave. But if people were like, hey, we're having a conversation about metaphysics, you want to get involved? I would be like, goodbye. I think highly of myself. I really don't have a narcissistic kind of lens to view myself through, but I do think highly of myself. I'm proud of myself most of the time. I get the job done and carry out my plans. For the most part, I would say yes. But I also make sure my plans are not ambitious, so I have the best chance to carry them out. I don't set high goals for the most part. I set very realistic goals that are easy to meet. I become overwhelmed by events. Rarely. I have a lot of fun. It's a weird question. Like, in many ways, what is fun, you know? I'm having fun right now. Like, I've had a good stream. I thought today's stream was a lot of fun. Is it as fun as, you know, playing with Tonka trucks when I was 5? I don't know. And I don't know. I feel like I have like a normal. Well, I don't know. It's weird. It's a very weird question. I feel like I don't do that many fun things, but I feel like I have fun doing unfun things. Like I get value in cleaning the litter box. I'm like, oh, you get to scoop the sand and then shake it into the litter genie. Like, it's a weird question. I feel like I make more fun than the average. My fun lemon has more juice in it than the average person's. That's my take on it. I think other people are like, oh, I need to get as many fun lemons as possible. And I'm like, dude, nah, you just got to get more fun out of the lemon you got. So I'm going to give myself a yes. I believe that there is no absolute right or wrong. No. I think there are some things for which there's a clear right and wrong. Many things exist with the gray area, but I get very annoyed when people are like, you know, one of my least favorite expressions, and it comes up all the time because of American politics these days, is, as always, the answer is probably somewhere in the middle. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? If someone says 2 + 2 = 4, and someone says 2 + 2 = 1,000,000, as always, the answer is probably somewhere in between. No, it's not. Like, I'm not saying that every issue has a right and a wrong. I do believe there's a lot of gray area, but at the same time, I think too many people have a bias that if person A has opinion A and person, this is now going to get confusing, but person B has opinion C, then the real answer must be B, because you just add the two opinions together and then divide by the number of people. Like, so I would say I don't believe that there is I believe that there is some absolute right or wrong. I feel sympathy for those who are worse off than me. Yeah, okay, for sure. I'm definitely not like, well, you know, that's why when I was in Korea, I only had $2 a day for food, so I could, you know, completely luck into having the easiest job in the world. Just do what I did in a completely different era where the conditions are totally changed. I make rash decisions. Not really. I am afraid of many things. Kind of like Enderman? Yeah, exactly. Like Enderman. I gotta go faster here because I think Kate's gonna stream after this. I don't have like anxiety anymore, really. I mean, I'm not, like, I don't feel fear, but yeah, there's things I'm apprehensive about, I guess. I avoid coming into contact with people if I can help it. Yeah, like, especially now. Oh, she doesn't stream on Sundays anymore. That's right. I love to daydream. Not really. Only in the shower. I trust what people say. I do. I mean, I don't look to people with disbelief on the regular. Let me rephrase. I trust what people say, kind of. I trust that they believe what they're saying. Do I believe that what they're saying is necessarily true? You got to handle that on a case-by-case basis. I handle tasks methodically. Yes. I frequently lose my temper. Again, I feel like if you ask me during a Monday show, might feel a little differently. Honestly, I think I lose my temper at around the average frequency. Not 0, but I prefer to be alone. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but definitely more yes than no. I do not like poetry. There are some poems I like. Here, I can try to zoom in. Just like, because some websites, they scale a little weird here. Do I like poetry? Hold on. This is a little better, I think. I don't seek it out on the regular. But, I mean, sure. I mean, I can maintain the attention span required. I take advantage of others. I feel like this is a disagree, but I guess you got to ask others. I always leave the place in a mess. Yeah, definitely. I am often down in the dumps. Not really. It happens from time to time, but not often. I take control of situations. Tend to defer control, I would say. I rarely notice my emotional reactions and feelings. Put me in neutral on that one. I am indifferent to the feelings of others. No. But I would say that I am... It's tough. It's not like I feel like my feelings are more important. It's quite the opposite. Because I'm such an emotional rock, I will oftentimes choose to weather abuse so that somebody else doesn't have to experience it. However, that being said, depending on how close a person is to me, if they came to me with an emotional problem, I might be like, I don't really feel like I want to respond to this right away. Because we're not at that level. I don't rush to offer support, I guess. Let's give this a small plus. I break rules. Well, when it comes to stream, I try to make sure that the content is, I mean, I literally cared about the Creative Commons license, which no other streamer on planet Earth cares about whatsoever. So I guess I'd probably give it a no. I mean, I tried to get Adobe stock images for my YouTube thumbnails, where other people are just they're just Google image searching like, Ariana Grande, and then just like putting it up there and like using the clone stamp tool to like, get the Reuters photo credit out of it. But no, I feel like, I mean, I drank a little bit underage. Tools labeled for reuse in Google Images. Yeah, but then the photos are bad. The ones that are labeled for reuse are always like garbage, unfortunately. I only really feel comfortable with friends. No, I feel comfortable alone as well. I do a lot in my spare time. Honestly, I would say that this is, well, a lot productively? No, because then it's not like spare time, right? But do I do many things, or like do I have much idle time? No. I would say I do a lot in my spare time. I dislike changes. Honestly, like I cope relatively well with change. I insult people. I definitely think that's true. I'm not a plus plus. There are people, you know these plus pluses, you know? They're the kind of people who are like, hey, just wanted to tell you, you're fat. And then they're like, why would you say that? And they go, I'm one of those guys. I tell it like it is. You know, I can't help it. Everybody's thinking it. You know? I think I'm a plus, though. I definitely do insult people. But I only actively insult somebody if the punchline is so funny that it would do more harm to not tell the joke. By telling the joke, I'm insulting one person, but entertaining thousands. So I feel like, from a utilitarian standpoint, it would be harm if I didn't say the joke, even if it makes somebody very sad. I do just enough work to get by. That's definitely like a heavy no-no. And I mean, I will admit that it's partly because, again, I have an extremely easy job. If my job, broke down my body or my spirit, I would probably work a lot less. But because it's cracking jokes and idly talking while playing video games, then I do overwork a little bit, I think. I easily resist temptations. Depends on the sin. I'm not quick to wrath, but to gluttony? I mean, again, you gotta I can resist the temptation at the grocery store, but if the food somehow makes it home, I will be eating the food. And if I resist the food once, it's only a matter of time. My will is eroded as time goes on. It does not strengthen. So I would say this is probably a minus. I enjoy being reckless. No, not at all. I have difficulty understanding abstract ideas. I play the character sometimes of having no understanding of abstract ideas. But that's not the real me. I wouldn't say that I have no understanding. I would say maybe I'm more on the neutral side. I have a high opinion of myself. It's probably like a single plus, to be honest. I waste my time. Not minus, but a minus. I don't like to... There are people who like to waste time. I do not like to waste time. Oh, in chess, that's a plus, absolutely. I feel I'm unable to deal with things. No. I love life. Yeah. I tend to support political candidates who favor conventional and traditional views. I feel like because of the way that this went earlier, I have to be on the minus. But there's a catch here. I'm not shying away from it. The catch here is if I feel that the conventional and traditional approach has been working, then why wouldn't I vote for somebody who is conventional and traditional? However, if I feel like the present system as it is right now is not working, why would I vote for somebody who just wants to keep the status quo? That's my take on it. I mean, I hit the minus. I don't know what some people in chat want me to do and do like, they want me to like edit the code on the page and put in like a 17 minus option just for this question, just so I can be like, check it out. I'm cool too, like I hit the most extreme option. I don't know what you want from me. I'm not trying to earn Discord street cred. I am who I am at this point. I am not interested in other people's problems. That's like a high yes. Like, I wouldn't say like don't come to me with your problems, but when people they're talking about their problems, unless it's like very severe, I'm like, or very relevant to me, I'm more like, man, I mean, they're smart, they'll figure it out. I rush into things. There's a yes and there's a no here. I get stressed out easily. I do think that this is true. I think I get stressed out more easily than I should. Like I have to constantly recontextualize when I get like mad about a comment or something, that it's like some 12-year-old kid on YouTube mad about the way that I play Isaac. So I do think I get stressed about meaningless stuff more often. Like the smaller your world gets, the bigger everything seems, I should say, but not to like plus. Some people take it too far. I keep others at a distance. No, not really, I think. I like to get lost in thought. Not really. I distrust people. Not really. I know how to get things done. Honestly, from a practical sense, no. But I know how to learn how to get them done. You just type what your question is into Google and then go with the top answer. So honestly, I feel like, I don't know, man, like when some people are like, I don't know how to do this. If it's like a simple task, I'm like, me neither. We don't need to call somebody. You just type it in, how to replace valve in sink, you know? I would give this a neutral. I don't have the knowledge of how to do many things, but I have the key that opens the box that contains the knowledge, because it's called google.com or .ca. I am not easily annoyed. I am easily annoyed. I avoid crowds. Kind of. I do not enjoy going to art galleries or exhibitions. So I don't really get art, but I kind of like walking around in the museum, you know? And going like, wow, look. Like I'm way more interested in, like, not in the painting, but in the bio that's next to the painting. When it's like, wow, this was painted. This looks pretty good for 1672, right? Like that, the context is interesting to me. I am uncooperative. I obstruct other people's plans. That not on purpose. I leave my bits and pieces and belongings around. Is this slang for something? I would say kind of, yeah. Like I'm looking at my desk and I'm like, yeah. I'm comfortable with myself. I do wait for others to take the lead. I don't understand people who get emotional. It's kind of a weird question, right? I understand it. They're weak-willed. What's to get? I'm joking, kind of. No, I mean I understand it. Man, some of these questions are basically like, do you think you're kind of an asshole? I don't have time for other people. That's like a heavy true. I have time for my wife. I have time for my daughter, and I got a little time for my parents, and then that's it. Like this sounds super rude. I'm not saying I get like a ton of fan mail, but I get like emails and requests from strangers at least a few times a month, and I'm like, I got no time. Like if I didn't draw like kind of a line in the sand, then I would have less than no time. Like it sounds rude, but like I would be taking away time to like that I'm spending with my family to like wish a stranger happy birthday, which is a nice thing to do, but at the same time, you know, I'm all my life force is being sucked out for other people at that point. So yeah, it's not like I got no time for anybody else. But I've got, you know, a lot of time for a very narrow subset of people and very, very little time for other people. I break my promises. I mean, I think it's like that's a minus plus. I don't make promises really for the most part. Just like I don't make friends. They disappoint me. I'm not bothered by difficult social situations. Again, I have a semantic issue with the question, which is like sometimes like I suck really bad in a social situation, but I just kind of like laugh it off. Like I'm amused by an awkward social situation. I feel very comfortable in the awkwardness, if that makes sense. So I would not say I'm bothered, no. Like if anything, I would rather like really fuck up a social situation and have it make for a funny self-deprecating story than just kind of screw it up. I am not bothered. Yeah, okay, correct. I am not bothered. Correct. I like to take it easy. I mean, I'm kind of like I like to go, but who doesn't like to take it easy, right? Even like the busiest people in the world are probably like, I like to take it easy. I don't like to do nothing. I don't like very easy. But, I mean, yeah, who doesn't? I am attached to conventional ways. What? No, I don't know. I don't think so. I always even the score with others. Weird, very weird energy. I put little time and effort into my work. Wrong. I put a lot of time and little effort into my work. I am able to control my cravings. I suppose now and then. The veggie straw. Look, the veggie straws, I did eat them all yesterday, okay? But I can't base my whole personality on the veggie straws. I act zany and outrageously. Well, on video sometimes, yes. But, you know, in real life, I think I'm actually, like, deceptively boring. I'm not interested in theoretical discussions. Mostly true for the first part. I boast about my virtues? Not really. It's not because I'm not boastful. It's mostly just because, like, in my off time, I don't really like to talk to anybody. Least of which about myself. I have difficulty starting tasks. No. I would say this is a no. Page 2. I remain calm under pressure. Pretty much keep an even keel. I look at the bright side of life. Believe it or not, I do. I'll be like, you know, I stepped on a mine, but think of all the money I'm going to save on pant legs. I'm sorry, that's not funny. The joke doesn't even make sense. It's not like if you bought pants that were like one side shorts, one side pants. Like they wouldn't be, if anything, they'd probably be more expensive because they're like a specialty good. The punchline doesn't even make any cogent sense. I apologize, but get some jants. But I think I would be cracking jokes in the, like once I got over the physical pain, I think I would be cracking jokes in the hospital. Like there's a lot of Dr. Pangloss in me, you know? That's like even when things are bad, like if I'm super hungry, I'm like, oh, I'm super hungry. It sucks. But also, what a pleasure to experience such a strong impulse, you know? Like, oh, I should be so lucky as to be able to feel this uncomfortable. Dr. Pangloss from Candide. It's by Voltaire. I would have figured it would be one of your heroes, if anything, Chad. Come on, read a book that wasn't drawn by Akira Toriyama sometime. I believe we should be very tough on crime. It depends on the crime, right? Like crimes that you know, I mean, that I don't know how specific we want to be, especially the stream's like 15 minutes overdue. You know, probably if you're like a shoplifter, should we be tough on that crime? No. Even if you stole like $100 of merchandise or something like that. You know, I mean, there's context for the situation, but like, I don't want to say it's not that big of a deal, but you know, I don't own a store, but still. But, you know, If you like killed like 1,000 people, yeah. Or like if your company was negligent and poisoned the environment and that killed 10,000 people over time, yeah. You know, I always say, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of like in neutral here. Like, yeah, the only people who should be in jail are ad blockers. That's my take on it. Luckily, this site's ad free. We got so lucky. No ads. I try not to think about the needy. No, it just happens naturally. I act without thinking. Very much not the case. Okay, we're going to take this off as always. We're going to click the next button. Background questions. Please answer the questions below. I am a man. My age is 32. I am from Cape Verde. My education level, PhD. You are taking this test. Not applicable. What is your current employment status? I am a self-employed freelancer. In what labor sector are you working? So that's a good one. Marketing, PR, and advertising? In which labor subsector are you working? Communications. How well do your daily tasks and work activities fit you as a person? I'm going to say that's like a 10. What is your official job title? President/CEO. Next. Hold on, they want me to buy it for $18. Come on, I didn't get to be a CEO by just losing $20 bills all over the place. Openness to experience, 12 out of 100. Conscientiousness, 37. Hey man, that's like within the bounds of realism. Extroversion, 9. Okay, agree. Hey, I'm pretty agreeable. I think I'm a fairly agreeable guy. I don't even know what natural reactions are. Okay, so we are not imaginative, open-minded, experimental, or someone who prefers creative, conceptual problem solving. That's true. Conscientious. Middle. Okay. Low range scoring person is spontaneous, disorganized, flexible plans, dislikes precise details. Wrong. This website is wrong. I am reserved, formal, serious, quiet, prefers working alone, avoids direct leadership roles. Kind of. 9 is a little bit of an insult, but and who cares about middles, dude? Dude, quarantine's gone on so long. This Gaussian distribution's got me about ready to risk it all. Is that just me?